Everyone, it's Judy Klein. I'm here to show you this new beautiful little stitched, probably, let me see, I better measure it to be sure. It's 2.5 inches deep by about 7 inches, 6.5 inches long, and about 5 inches wide. And it is, you can see it's about 2 inches or 2.5 inches deep. I have collaged and stitched and had a wonderful time using up some fabrics that I got from a designer shop and from my friend Sheila Gingrich at Boho Daydreams. The bundle of Boho Daydreams wonderful, delicious sari things was of beauty, and I had a good time just taking apart little bits and pieces that she sent me, and I'm enjoying it so much. The collage on the front is something that I had been working on for a long time, and it just was laying on my work table, and I thought, I'm going to cut this and put it right on the front. So here it is. This is it's a combination of a stitched little booklet, or a big booklet actually, a chunky book, and junk journal all in one. So let's go to the first page. Inside the front cover, I have put my business card and this little booklet that is made from paper scraps, and this flip that my friend Gail Gostinelli told me about. It's just a cluster that is really lovely on this. So I just sort of tuck it right here, put my card behind it, and isn't that beautiful? This is from my designer shop. They gave me all these wonderful samples that were discontinued. And this is a piece of upholstery fabric that one of my designer friends made the banquettes at a restaurant that he designed. So I collaged this gorgeous flower onto and made the ribbons, the French knots out of little ribbon. And this is a batik piece that I used to back this. This is another piece from my friend in the designer shop. I love this yellow and red, so I bead embroidered around the red flowers. And on this side is another one of the samples from the designer shop, fabric samples that from the designer shop that have discontinued, are absolutely delightful to have. And when my friend called me to tell me she had some for me, I was just excited. So I went over, picked up the booklets and I took them apart and salvaged the pieces that I would want to use, and the others I am putting in the prize table at my retreat, which is coming up somewhere toward the end of this month. This right here is a boho bead that I smashed. It's made from Boho Daydreams fabrics, and I just made a boho bead, and then when I wanted to put it in here, I smashed it. This is Easter egg dyed tulle, cheesecloth. And this is another fabric sample, and this is a quilting batik, I believe. So I have sewn in a signature of about 16 pages of coffee dyed paper for journaling. And here's another Boho Daydreams fabric that I made into a boho bead. Oh, and this is such delicious hand-dyed silk velvet. It's just so, you just want to pet it. It's so lovely. It was a scrap from a dress that belonged to one of my friends who gave it to me because there were areas of it that were falling apart. So I have treasured it, and I just use bits and pieces of it I don't think I've thrown away one scrap of it because it's so lovely. Here's another one of my little collages made from the designer fabric. I hand beaded red beads here. Of course, black and white checks are my very favorite things in the world, so I have to include a little bit. And here's some more Easter egg dyed cheesecloth and another boho bead. And on this side is batik, quilting batik, and I have just glued on with Fabri-Tac this piece of crocheted lace that is, I just think it's beautiful. And I have a big piece of it, so I just shared a small amount of it. And here's another piece. This is the back of the piece that I was a banquet on a local restaurant, which is long gone, by the way. Now, in order for this to close properly, you can see that there has to be space here for this to. So when I got it ready, there's this space in here. So I put in one of the beautiful Boho Daydreams pieces of trim that Sheila sent me. Isn't that lovely? And it just fills up that space so nicely. So there is that. This is another piece of this fabric samples. They're so beautiful. And on the other side, isn't that gorgeous? It's just embroidered so lovely. I couldn't even cover this part up. I decided to save that, but intact. But she also gave me some beads and trims, and on the back of this piece of fluff is this beautiful little leaf and these beigey beads. But when it kind of gets covered up when we fluff up this little fluff. You notice that I blanket stitched around every one of the pages with embroidery floss. And in between there is a piece of quilt batting. So all the pages are like little mini quilts. Here's another piece of that lovely, I think it's kind of a linen, and I love the red and yellow together, so I just bead embroidered and enhanced the flowers, the red flowers. And here's another piece. Isn't this fun? Love the colors in this one. And here's a piece. This piece right here. It was already beaded. It was a sample, and I just decided to put it in here with the Easter egg dyed cheesecloth and another of my boho beads. Here's the signature for this section. This is another 18 pages of coffee dyed paper to write on. And here's another piece of the fabric samples, and I just cut off some of the fabric samples, cut them out, and made a collage here. This is from the boho bead stack that Sheila sent me. So I just collaged it all together to make a pleasing design. Here's another one of the samples of the beadwork that I think is probably the edge of a pillow or something, but it was in the samples that my friend gave me. And this was an embroidered part that I just salvaged, these little roses, because they were so nicely done and I didn't want to waste them. On the back here we have my little thank you and my red queen card in this little pocket that I made from fabric. I think this is K Facet fabric. I love it. And on the very back we have this another cluster that Gail Agostinelli inspired, and it's a journaling card. And here's another journaling card collage that I made. So here, and on the back is another scrap from Boho Daydreams, and this delicious hand-dyed silk velvet that is just so tactile and lovely to pet. So here's my chunky little booklet, or it's not really so little. These little wispies here are from wonderful yarn that I had that had these little wisps. So I had to leave them out here so they're just the right color. So here we have this beautiful little booklet. I think I'll put it in my Etsy shop. So you can go take a look at my Etsy shop. It's Judith's Diva Stuff. I'm Judith's because I couldn't say Judith when I was a little girl. So I'm Dooditz, Diva Stuff, all one word, at Etsy. Take a look, and please subscribe to my channel and tell me any comments that you might have. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Bye-bye.